travelers, welcome back to this channel. In this Kochi part 2 video, we are going to discuss the top places to visit in Kochi. Yes, from the iconic Chinese fishing nets on the Arabian Sea to centuries-old palaces and bustling spice markets, we are going to explore everything that will surprise you. But before we start, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel so that you cannot miss any important updates from Travel Bucket, your trusted travel guide partner. So, are you excited to experience the past through Kochi? Number 1. Chinese fishing nets. Tales of history. The first one in this list is a fishing nets. Yes, but do you know that a 700-year-old fishing technique is still in action today? That sounds incredible, right? Well, the Chinese fishing nets, locally known as Chinavala, is a significant cultural heritage of Kochi. It was first introduced by one of the Chinese explorers, Zheng He, between the 14th and 15th centuries in the region. Besides their cultural importance, these legendary nets serve as a major tourist attraction from around the globe. The work function of those nets is quite interesting as they follow the law of pulleys and levers, operated by a team of 6 to 7 fishermen with an energetic, poetic version while pulling the rope. The sight of this place becomes dreamy during sunset. Not to miss. Don't ignore the sunset view from this place. This may be the best memory you will take to your home from Kochi. If you want to experience traditional fishing techniques, participate in pulling the rope with the local fishermen. And yes, don't miss the opportunity to talk with the local fishermen in that place. They can give you the hidden history of that place. Travel tips. This place is one of the best places for photographers as it gives you a stunning background during sunset. Remember that using the fishing nets depends on the water current of the sea. Water currents change in certain minutes or hours in a day. Before engaging with the fishing process, always discuss the tipping amounts beforehand to avoid awkward circumstances. Number 2. Fort Kochi. Journey through history. Next is a place where you can literally walk through history. Fort Kochi. Yes, Fort Kochi, known as Fort Cochin, is situated in the city of Kochi in Kerala. Established in the 16th century, Fort Kochi holds significant historical and cultural importance due to its strategic location in the region. Initially, it was a fishing village, but over the years, it witnessed the strong influence of various colonial powers including the Portuguese, Dutch and the British, leaving their architectural sign in the south coastal region of India. It possesses several colonial architecture during colonial era houses, churches and museums within its womb. One can explore this gem with a strong enthusiasm to know about the history of the colonial era. Not to miss. Don't miss the sunset with a camera on the coast. The charming natural beauty will enchant you from inside. Never miss the colonial architectures like Santa Cruz Basilica, St. Francis Church and Mattancherry Palace. If you are a lover of antique things, then straight forward to the Jew town. Fort Kochi is a perfect destination for authentic Kerala cuisine. And if you have a desire to taste it before the trip ends, then must try appam, puttu and karimin polichattu. Not to forget to visit an Ayurvedic spa or a yoga center to gain energy and spirit. Travel tips. Always check the timing before visiting any heritage sites within Fort Kochi. Wear comfortable wearings including a hat and sunglasses to experience comfortable traveling. Bargain in the shops before purchasing any valuable items. Always respect the customs and traditions of those heritage and religious sites during your visit. Make sure to charge your mobile fully because the map will help you figure out the nearby destinations. So, Fort Kochi isn't just a place to visit, it's a place to feel. Number 3. Mattancherry Palace or the Dutch Palace. Story of the royal families. Let's move to a palace, but it is not an ordinary one. It is Mattancherry Palace, where centuries of Kochi's royal history are preserved in every mural, carving and artifact. Yes, the Mattancherry Palace, also known as the Dutch Palace, is situated in Mattancherry, 12 kilometers from Ernakulam. Built in 1545 CE, this palace was originally a gift from the Portuguese to the King of Cochin, Veer Kerala Varma, as a gesture of goodwill. But in 1663, this palace was renovated by the Dutch colonials and served as the royal residence for the Kochi Rajas. This palace is significant in the history of Kochi and has a collection of exquisite murals and artifacts. It has been included in the tentative list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. With the traditional Kerala architecture known as the Nalukettu style, this palace shows European influences in its chambers and arches. One can see the murals showing the Hindu mythological scenes from the Ramayana and Mahabharata. The delicate wood carvings, decorated brass cups and unique flooring made from a mixture of burnt coconut shells, weapons, Hindu temple art, palanquins and rare coins make this one of the best places to visit in Kochi. Not to miss. Don't miss the ancient drawings on the wall. If you want to taste the vibe of the Kochi royal families, then don't forget to watch their favorite and their used items. Compare the ancient coins with the present ones and try to figure out the differences between them. Travel tips. The palace is open to visitors from 10 am to 5 pm on all days except Fridays. The entry fee is ₹2 for adults, while children up to 15 years can enter for free. Photography and videography are not allowed here. Number 4. Paradesi Synagogue, Temple of the Jews community. Next is the Paradesi Synagogue. Do you know that Kochi is home to one of the last remaining synagogues in India? Yes, but what items in it are a must-see to you? Let's discover. The Paradesi Synagogue, also known as the Mattancherry Synagogue, is located in the Mattancherry Jew town in Kochi. Built in 1568 AD by Samuel Castiel, David Bellila, and Joseph Levy, the synagogue was established for the Paradesi Jewish community in Kochi. Now it stands as only one of the 7 synagogues in the area still in use, which holds a strong historical and cultural importance to the world. The synagogue possesses unique architectural styles that include Belgian glass chandeliers, hand-painted blue willow patterned floor tiles from China, a brass-railed pulpit with a carved teak arch, gold crowns, copper plates, inscribed in Malayalam, making this masterpiece into a must-visit travel destination in Kochi. Not to miss. Do not miss the grand chandeliers from different countries. Take a close look at the floor to gain insight from the tiles that were brought from China in the 18th century. Do not miss the precious Torah scroll inside. Travel tips. Plan your visit during the forenoon from 10 am to 12 pm and afternoon from 3 pm to 5 pm. Except Fridays and Saturdays. Avoid sleeveless tops and shorts, which are not allowed here. Please keep your footwear outside the synagogue before entering this holy place. Number 5. St. Francis Church, the Vasco da Gama Tomb. Next is an amazing place. Did you know the famous explorer Vasco da Gama was originally buried here in Kochi? Yes, that's right. St. Francis Church holds his tomb, where he lay for 14 years before being moved to Portugal. Situated at the heart of Fort Kochi, St. Francis Church was constructed in 1503 by the Portuguese Franciscan friars. It is one of the oldest European churches in India, which was initially made of wood and mud, but later reconstructed by Maharaja of Cochin with stone in 1506. This church reflects the European colonial ambitions in India and holds a strong connection with the Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama, who was buried here in 1524 after his death from malaria. It shows a great architectural style with rich designs, white exteriors, a wooden roof and arched doorways. The cenotaph on the lawn reminds us of the death of the Kochiites in the First World War. These things make this church a must-visit landmark for tourists and pilgrims. Not to miss. If you are a curious traveler, then look closely at the Vasco da Gama tomb, where he was buried for 14 years. Explore the preserved church baptism and marriage register, where you will gain an idea of Kochi's colonial history. Do not miss the Portuguese inscriptions and the religious art on the walls. Travel tips. The church is open all day from 7 am to 6:30 pm. And Sundays from 8:30 am to 6:30 pm. Wear modest clothing when visiting the religious sites. Please put your mobile phone on silent before entering this holy place. So, if you love history, you cannot miss the chance to see Vasco da Gama's tomb up close. Number 6. Santa Cruz Cathedral Basilica. the Diocese of Cochin. Next comes the majestic Santa Cruz Cathedral Basilica. Did you know this stunning church dates back to 1505, built by the Portuguese colonials? Yes, but how has this area become so famous to the people? Santa Cruz Basilica, known as Kottapalli, is one of the best churches to visit in Kochi. The history of this church is no less interesting. Years back, this church was built by the Portuguese colonials in the year 1505. After that, it gained the status of a cathedral in the year 1558. Later, it gained the status of a basilica in 1984 by Pope John Paul II. Over the years, this church has held immense religious and spiritual significance to the devotees and tourists. Besides the religious significance, this church reminds us of the influence of colonial forces in Kochi. From the entrance of the church, you may hear the whispering sound of those colonial powers that will take you to the days of Kerala's glorious past. Not to miss. Do not miss to see the painting The Last Supper by the world-famous painter Leonardo da Vinci. Travel tips. This is not a museum, so no guide is allowed here. Please switch off your mobile phone before entering this holy place. Visitors are not permitted to enter the church during liturgical services inside the church, but you can enter during the worship period on Sundays, that is from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. You will not be allowed to enter the church every first Friday in a month. Normal days 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. and on weekends from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Number 7. Backwaters Cruise. Feel the beauty. Next is the Backwaters Cruise, which offers a journey through one of the most beautiful and biodiverse ecosystems in the world, the backwaters of Kochi. Located on the west coast of Kochi, the backwaters are interconnected with canals, lagoons and lakes over 900 kilometers along the Kerala coast with Vembanad Lake. These backwaters played an important role in the economy of the state in the ancient era. The Arabs, the Chinese and the European traders used the same backwaters years ago to trade spices like pepper, cardamom and cinnamon worldwide. Over time, the backwaters of Kochi appear as a famous tourist destination for its beauty and rich biodiversity. One can enjoy the boat cruise on it to experience the largest wetland ecosystem in the world. Not to miss. Do not miss the sunset with the famous Chinese fishing nets that are lined on the bank. Enjoy the dense mangroves on the backwaters and take a close look at their route. Explore a unique way of farming fish. Enjoy the sweet coconut water in the shops which also floats on the backwater. Travel tips. Take your camera or drone to take a perfect shot of the place. Number 8. Cherai Beach. Witnessing natural wonder. Next is Cherai Beach, one of the longest and the most beautiful beaches in Kerala. But what makes it so special? Let's see. Located on the northern side of the Vipin Island, around 25 kilometers away from Kochi, Cherai Beach served as an important strategic location for the Portuguese, the Dutch and the British colonial powers in the ancient era. It is one of the longest beaches in Kerala, but nowadays it is more than a heaven to swimmers and sea lovers alike. It stretches about 15 kilometers with a combination of the golden sand and the waves of the Arabian Sea. Offer a perfect spot for an adventure seeker with a wide range of water sports activities like swimming, surfing, parasailing, jet skiing, banana boat riding and speedboat riding. Apart from the water sports, Cherai Beach is heaven for the bird enthusiasts. You will discover migratory birds and also a variety of species that simply catches your attention. You can also enjoy the local culture of Cherai through traditional dances and music performances with local food on your hand. During sunset, Cherai transforms into a captivating land for the travelers. Not to miss. Look out for the dolphins in the water. It will give you an extra delight in your beach experience. Don't miss the sunset view as it has a unique charm and you'll never forget it. If you are a seafood lover, this is the best place to taste your favorite seafood. Don't forget to miss the nearby Cherai Gaurishwara temple to get a spiritual touch during your journey. Visit one of the oldest forts in India, that is the Pallipuram Fort, to hear about the stories of the colonial era. Travel tips. Always carry a camera to capture your best moment. Use sunglasses to protect your eyes from the heat of the sun. There is no time to visit the beach, but try to choose the early morning visit as it gives you the extra serenity of the beach.